Welcome to a class on consumer arithmetic. Okay, so what we're going to do in this class, we're going to look at household budgets. Okay, so this is a very interesting topic, and we're going to look at simple interest. Okay, so you should know how to calculate simple interest. Okay, so here our objectives is the first thing is we're going to look at the home budgets. We're going to look at incomes, expenses, and we're going to see how much is going to left at a home. And the other thing is you're going to look at simple interest. How do we calculate simple interest, and what is simple interest? And you're going to look at it. Okay, so please stay in touch and make sure you subscribe so that you won't miss all the videos you're going to upload here. The first thing is when you want to budget at home. Okay, so let's learn how do we create it and how do we calculate it. Okay, so the first thing you have to look at is income. Okay, so income it's something like the money which is coming in. Okay, let's say the money coming in. Okay, so this is the money you're going to get maybe from your salary or from your pension and so on and so on. Okay, so this is only the money which is going to come into house. Okay, so what you do is to find the total income. You're going to add all the money you're going to get. Okay, so the money which is coming into your home. Okay, so this is the whole household budget. Okay, so you're going to work out all the money which is going to come in your house. Okay, and the next thing is you are going to calculate the expenses. Okay, so the expenses include what you're going to buy. Okay, so the money going out. Okay, so this includes paying rent, paying school fees, paying for food. Okay, so this is what you call the expenses. Everything you are going to pay so that your money will go out. Okay, so this is what we call the expenses. Okay, then the other thing is we just have to calculate the net balance. Okay, the net balance is you're just going to say total income uh, minus total expenses. Okay, so this is where you're going to get the net balance. Okay, so as easy as that. This is what we are going to learn by. Okay, so just add all the expenses and add all the income money, then say total income minus total expenses. Okay, so in this net balance, we have what we call deficit and surplus. Okay, so when this net balance, okay, is negative. Okay, so when it is negative, this means that it is deficit. Okay, there is a shortage of money, and when it is positive, okay, this means that there is a surplus of money. Okay, so this is why what you have to use. Okay, so that's all on this budget. Okay, so make sure you're able to calculate which are incomes and you are able to identify them, then calculate the total income, then look at the expenses, then calculate them and find the total expenses, then calculate the net balance and make sure you are able to tell if is it deficit or is it surplus. Okay, so this is it on household budget. Okay, now let's go on to the next part of it. Okay, so the next part is interest. Okay, so what is interest? Okay, so when you borrow someone money, okay, make sure when you borrow someone money, okay, when you have to pay back, you are going to pay back more money. Okay, it usually happens with banks. When you borrow money from the bank, when you pay back, you have to pay more money than the money you get. Okay, so you're going to pay more money. Okay, so that more money, okay, so that more money, okay, more money. Okay, so when you borrow money, okay, so you're going to pay more. Okay, so this is it, more money paid on a debt. Okay, so that more money is what we call interest. Okay, so there are more ways of expressing this interest. Okay, let's look at them. The first thing is you have to, these are the key points. The first thing is the principal. Okay, so what is the money you are supposed to pay? Okay, this might be the borrowed money. Okay, so this one might be the borrowed money. Okay, we can say it is the borrowed money. Okay, the bank can borrow money from you. If you deposit your money, the bank can say they borrowed your money. Okay, so and you can say you've borrowed money. Okay, so this is what we call the borrowed money. Okay, it is principal. It is represented by P. Okay, make sure you grasp that. Then the other thing is the rate. Okay, so there is a percentage. Okay, they're going to say we want 15% per annum. Okay, okay, so this means that you're per annum means per year. Okay. Okay, so means per year. Okay, so they are going to give you a certain percentage. Okay, this is what we call rate. It is represented by R. Okay, so the first thing we learned is a principal, the money you borrowed. Okay, the first money we have, the first money we use. Then the rate. Okay, this is the percentage we are going to pay more. Okay, so they usually express it as a percentage like this. That is it. Okay, per annum. Okay, they use the per annum or per month or something. Please take note. You know what is per annum, what is being paid. Okay, if it's a per month, you are going to calculate it for month. If it's per year, you're going to calculate per year. Okay. Then the other thing is the time. Okay. So this is the time we are going to have. Okay. So this is time we are going to borrow a money for. Okay. So if they say that 15% per annum, let's say per year, and you are going to be with that money for 10 years. Okay. So this is the time we are talking about. Okay. So this time. Okay. To calculate interest, we just use these three. We have a principal, rate, and time. Okay, so just use this. Okay, so interest is we have interest. It is represented by I. Interest is equals to P times R times T over 100. Okay, so this is the formula to find interest. Okay, you can say PRT of 100. Okay, so this is the formula you're going to use to find interest. Okay, so whenever you want to find interest, just say P the money, the principal, the money you used at the first, and R the rate. Okay, and the time. The time and the rate have to be the same. If it is per annum here, your time has to be in years. If it is per month here, your time has to be in months. Okay, so make sure you grasp that. That's concept. Okay, so this is the formula. Okay, so if you want to check what is the money is going to pay back, okay, so let's say you can say the total amount. Okay, so the total amount you are going to pay back, you are going to say principal, the money you use at the first, and you are going to say plus interest. Okay, plus interest. Okay, so this is the total amount you are going to pay back. Okay, so this is it on interest. Okay, it is a concept we use when you borrow someone money. Okay, so more money paid on debt. Okay, then we have a concept which says that we have principal, rate, and time. Okay, so these are the three things. Okay, time is represented by T. So these are the three principles we have. If you want to calculate interest, you're going to use this formula. It is very important to use this formula. Then to find the total amount, you're just going to say the principal plus the interest. Okay, so that was that. Let's go into the next to the examples. The example says that Tariro borrows 25,000. Okay, so this is what we call principal. Okay, so the money which is involved at the first. Okay, the money which is borrowed is called principal. Okay, then for 2 years. Okay, so this is the time we have, and at 8% simple interest. Okay, so this becomes our rate because it is in percentage. Okay, now the first question says that to find the interest. Okay, so the first thing you have to write is the formula. Okay, so to find the interest, I told you that the formula is PRT. Okay, of 100. Okay, so this is the formula to find the interest. Okay, so now your duty is just to identify which is P, which is R, and which is T, then substitute. Okay, so let's identify. Okay, P is principal. Okay, I told you that this the money which is borrowed is what we call principal. In this case, it's 25,000. Okay, so we're going to write it here. Then we're going to write our rate. In this case, it is 8%. Okay, so 8. Okay, then we have our time. Okay, our time in this case is 2 years. Okay, so we're going to write 2 here. Okay, so now we just have to find interest by substituting this. Okay, so this becomes I is equals to P is 25,000. Then R is 8, then time is 2, and divided by 100. Okay, so if you work out this, you're going to get this and this. Okay, and if you say 250 multiplied by 8, you're going to get 2,000, and 2,000 multiplied by 2 is going to become 4,000. Okay, so this means that our interest is $4,000. Okay, so after finding our interest, we are finished with the question A. Well, let's go to question B. Our question B is saying that find the total amount to be repaid. Okay, so the total amount to be repaid. Okay, we just say total amount. Okay, total amount is found by saying principal plus our interest. Okay, so we have found our interest here and we have our principal. Now we just have to add. Okay, so in this case, we're going to have $25,000 is being added to $4,000. Okay, so in this case, we're going to add and we're going to get our answer is 29,000. Okay, so this means that Taro is going to pay back $29,000 when she borrows 25,000. Okay, so that was that for interest and household budget. Okay, so please make sure you are in touch and make sure you are going to subscribe so that you won't miss our next video. Our next video is going to talk about bills, bills on companies, bills on small companies and big companies. Okay, and it is going to look at higher purchase. Okay, so please make sure you won't miss that and make sure you're subscribed.